done should be done. Now, I talked to the mayor Friday, and I thank you for taking the meeting, okay? And I really appreciate it, because you really did listen. And there are some conditions on there, and I'd like to thank you.
No, thank you, Terry.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your comments, Terry. Bunny, you'd like to come up?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to bring the little one. No babysitter. Sorry.
That's all right.
I have a lot of concerns about the said assisted living being behind my unit. Okay, those first two buildings, I knew, and none of us are naive, we knew you were going to build something there, but to literally put this gigantic thing like a mini Walmart behind my house, and nobody has been talking about his huge poles of lights that he's putting around there on the plan that I saw, the last plan. I mean, it's going to be lit up at night like I am literally in Walmart's parking lot because of how close it is. If you come to my backyard and see how close that stake is to my patio in the back, we all sit up high because it's on a hill. So, excuse me, my living room, my bedrooms are up high. So I'm going to be looking at his parking lot and his dumpster because he moved everything around, which I'm just appalled that they would even consider putting this huge thing on that lot. The rest of Route 30, I feel that your zoning board is not looking out for the best interests of Frankfort. I have been on 2 zoning boards in my lifetime. I'm 60-something years old, and we've always looked at the future to see how it's going to look. Now, down the street by, what is it, Hunter or something, it's just a little bit by Frankfort Square Road, they have beautiful building there for, it's got dialysis and therapy in there, and I feel that that corner should have just been a strip for offices that close at 5, just like they do, because you have the insurance company, you have the daycare and the library, and to put this hunk right there on the corner, you want to take, and it's probably going to be an eminent domain, you're going to probably take out our nice island, and you're going to take out the corner landscaping and give it to them for what? He's got enough money. Go somewhere else. Go down by, what is it, Aqua Lounge. I think he'd be better suited to go to Aqua Lounge than he is on that corner, but it just doesn't fit. And that's what I have to say. I just think it's just a mistake. I think that you will have blood on your hands when somebody pulls out and turns left. My father was in assisted living, and he pulled out and darn near killed a guy on a motorcycle. And the guy was in a coma for 4 months, and he'll never walk the same again. So I'm just telling you that that is not the right place for assisted living. That's my opinion, because you asked for opinions. So that is what I'm saying, because that traffic will be a mess there. And they will be trying to pull out and go left. And then you can go around to Pfeiffer, and it's backed up forever because it's only one lane pulling left. If you go out there at certain times of the day, there's like 25 cars, the light's not timed right, and you're waiting, and you gotta wait 2 lights. Put that thing there, and then you're gonna have people coming in and out, and you're gonna create bad traffic out there. You're gonna create someone getting killed. And what are you going to do for us? You're going to drop my taxes down? What are you going to do? You want to buy my unit? Because nobody's going to want to buy it. I mean, you're literally, I am going to be looking at a parking lot. Walmart, a little mini Walmart. Because you have the plan site here. The last time I saw it, he added all those poles. The poles all around the property with big lights on it. And they're only going to be on at night. Nobody in those buildings has curtains right now. We are all going to have to invest in curtains because we had a nice tree line. But now we're going to have darkening ones, so we're going to all have to go out and get them. I just think that it was rude and extremely unprofessional of the zoning board to not tell anybody in the homeowners, not the condos, the homes, what they were doing. This has all been undermining people, and only a few buildings got to the postcards to tell them what they were doing. So nobody knows what's going to go on that corner except for a few buildings, and only because I went to Kathy Chase and told her she had, like 2 weeks ago I told her, and then she went on vacation or something, but she is on the board for the homeowners in the back. So it was I mean, what kind of zoning board, and now they're gonna build a house that they shouldn't be building, and giving them all these variances that they shouldn't be giving them, and they're building a house that doesn't match your own rules in downtown Frankfort. And the property that they want Oasis on is not zoned for that. Like I said, I've been on 2 zoning boards in my lifetime, and I don't understand your zoning board. I just want everybody to remember, we all vote, okay? We all get to vote, and I like you. I do like you too. I do. I like you too. But that's all I have to say. I mean, really, think about it. And you said you already passed it, so, I mean, come on, really. Blood on the hands of everybody up here that voted for this, because I'm telling you, someone's going to get killed. And what are you gonna do, put another red light there? We have enough red lights going, or what, a no left turn, so we all gotta use Pfeiffer? And then you're gonna dig it up at some time because it's gonna go through. So this whole thing, this whole project is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong for the people that live there, and it's wrong that you hid it from everybody in all the buildings and in the back, because this room would be filled with people right now, if you were honest. And that's the zoning board that did that, by not telling anybody. Nobody knows. I could take a walk and tell somebody, and they'll go, I don't know that's going there. I think everybody had a right to know. So, now you know how I feel.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you, Bunny. Thank you for your comments. All right. Who else would like to make comment before the? Jerry, come on up.
Hi, can you hear me very well? I'm Jerry Warning. I live on Harlem Avenue, and the reason I'm here today is to show you a letter that your Community Development Department wrote for 4 of us that we annexed in to the property 19 years ago. And this letter was like 2 years after the fact addressed to me. And the reason it was addressed to me, because I didn't get involved with this, what I'm gonna speak about. And how I found out today, I was meeting with a neighbor that owns the 150 acres north of me, and I'm trying to get him working with somebody supposedly from the village to develop that for industrial or light industrial or business park. And I'm trying to figure how the waters across the street make this go. Well, anyway, he tells me this was part of the annexation agreement, and you guys, you weren't involved, other people agreed to do this, and they took it away from him maybe 6 months or a year ago. And it's pertaining to new way disposal. It says that you're gonna get your garbage pickup for your, it's out of your, everybody pays out of their taxes. And they rebated for 20 years, you get the portion Frankfort would increase for 20 years, they'd rebate to everybody. He never took any of it, the rebates, ever. So he's almost 19 years, he didn't take any. But now he's got to pay a stupid $20 a month for garbage pickup. And how this started, they have 2 houses on the property. And they called to get the second one picked up. And whoever answered the phone said, well, you know, but it's obvious they got it for how many years with no cost. You know what I mean? And it made a red flag, and I don't know who the public works, they probably just don't understand. You know, but I'm sure you can figure it out, you know. So I got 3 copies here, I don't know who wants it, and they can look it up.
Jerry, you should direct them probably to our
Maybe you can
village
just help,
administrator.
you know.
Mhm.
So it's just so you don't make another error. People just jump to conclusions they don't know and understand or look into it, and they just do things. You know, okay, that's all. I just like to see, I think people are fair, and maybe you'll figure it out, okay?
Okay, Jerry, if you could give those to Rob.
Thank you.
Rob will send it. Thank you, Jerry. Anyone else would like to make a comment for the village board?
Do I need to sign in?
If you'd like to.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Beth Partika. So I just want to say that I live at 218 Ash Street, and I think most of you were involved when we went through the whole process of building the 3 homes at that section of Ash Street. And it's just really disappointing to come here and see that Gander house get approved, which is like when you look at the design guidelines that a lot of you were involved with creating and that you asked all your residents to pull on and had workshops on, that house is pretty much the exact opposite. And like in many of your examples with the X's on them of like what not to build, that's the example. And it's just really frustrating as, you know, residents of 3 homes. We're probably in the $2 million mark if you want to like know what's money versus the $1 million house that they're building. It's just really, really disappointing to see after all the work of the village, all the work we went through as individuals to get those houses approved. My parents changed their entire home, even though just to get the lot coverage down 1.5% because of the 3rd-car garage you guys didn't want to approve, even though everything else about their home fit the design guidelines. So it's just extremely frustrating to come here today and at the workshop and see that basically the design guidelines are nothing and that there's people like us who go through so much to get our houses approved and do so much work to make them fit the design guidelines, and then it doesn't matter. So I'm just hoping in the future, we know there's gonna be more houses that come down, more houses that get renovated. There's some way that those design guidelines are kind of upheld and stuck to, because that house is in no way, shape, or form a farmhouse, transitional. It's completely modern. And I just feel like the ball was totally dropped on that in terms of like the historic district. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Beth. Anyone else would like to make a comment?
Can I just second that?
Sure, you could do that from back there.
I go second that. That's the same exact thing. That is about as modern, that is definitely not a transitional farmhouse. That is about as far away from what I can see from the drawings, from a farmhouse as you can get. And again, we all know we all jumped through hoops and get our houses built, and a little bit different, but I'm thinking, they all lived in Lincoln Park for the longest time. You know, you walk around Lincoln Park and you think, oh my God, look at the beautiful buildings and beautiful architecture, and all of a sudden you'll walk and there'll be this humongous, it doesn't even have to be humongous, big, huge modern home, and you're like, what in the world? What were they thinking to put this house here? It looks ridiculous. And I think that's exactly what he's doing right there. And I also want to say, I think he pretty much thumbed his nose at you guys and said, we want to do what we're going to do, and you guys can't stop us, and that's basically it. He said, you know, this is the house we want to build. We worked all this time to get it done, and they didn't basically care what the guidelines were. Everyone else worked really hard to get them here, and I don't understand why they're there, why everyone did all that if no one cares when it comes right down to, and I realize they're not code, but I think that's going to be a ridiculous looking house, and he can say it's going to be a showstopper, but I think it's going to be like when you walk through Lincoln Park and see these big, huge modern things inside these, jammed into these beautiful old buildings, and you're going to think, what were they thinking when they put that house there? So, thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else would like to make a public comment? Okay. Hearing no further public comment, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Farina, second by trustee Borelli. All those in favor say aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.